A person's name is to that person the sweetest, most important sound in any language. Remembering names of customers, prospects, networking contacts, and colleagues is critical to your ongoing professional success. In this training, you are going to learn some of the most important ideas discovered on name retention strategies. In this training, you will learn why we work with name retention strategies. You will learn when to use name retention strategies and how to work with name retention strategies. The reason why we work with name retention strategies is because every time we use a person's name, it shows them how important they are to us. It also makes them feel valued. It makes them feel like a $1 million customer. In addition, it creates a deeper and greater connection with individuals, groups, and organizations. Now, the very best areas of life to use these name retention strategies is in education. If you are a lecturer, a coach, a trainer, it's critical for you to remember the names of your students. In addition, it's to be used in your personal life. Remembering names of social contacts, friends, family members, extended family members proves that they're important to you. And most importantly, we use these in our career. You can accelerate your career success by remembering your employer's names, their spouse's names, their children's names. It's also important to use them in business, to remember business contacts' names, to remember people in positions, people who answer phones, and people at reception. Using name retention strategies requires 3 simple steps. Firstly, to discover if your client or yourself is normally or reversed organized. Secondly, using the learning state. And thirdly, through repetition. When you're working with a normally organized person, visual construct will be up and to the left as you look at them. Visual remembered will be up and to the right as you look at them. Auditory construct will be across and to the left as you look at them. And auditory remembered will be across and to the right as you look at them. Remember, kinesthetic will always be down and to the left as you look at the client, and auditory digital will always be down and to the right. This is also true for reversed organized people. If your client or yourself is reversed organized, as you look at the person, visual remembered will be over and to the left. Visual construct will be up and to the right. Auditory remembered for the reversed organized person will be across and to the left. Auditory construct will be across and to the right. And as always, for the normal and reversed organized person, kinesthetic remains down and to the left, and auditory digital down and to the right. Now, this is a very simple strategy to implement. The first thing you do is you create a visual remembered picture of this person's face, and you want to get the headshot. And as you remember, as you recall this person's face, you want to recall it in a bright picture. Make sure that picture in your mind is bright and detailed and zoomed in on the face. So how you instruct your client is to do this. I want you to look up and to your left. As you're looking up and to the left, I'd like you to create a picture and remember a picture of Daniel's face. Let me know once you've got that. Once they let you know they have it, then instruct them to put Daniel Tolson's name below his picture. So now that you can see Daniel's face clearly in your mind, I want you to write the name Daniel Tolson under that picture. So every time you look at the picture, you see the name Daniel Tolson. Or whenever you see the name Daniel Tolson, you'll remember the picture of his face. Once they have that, get them to have a feeling of familiarity. Now, as you look at that picture of Daniel, do you feel familiar with this picture? They'll say yes. Then ask them, as you look at the name Daniel Tolson, get that feeling of familiarity by looking down into your right. Have the client look down into the right and have a feeling of familiarity of the picture and the name. Now, what we do is we run through the next strategy 3 times. So we say to the client, looking up into your left, I want you to bring back to your mind the picture of Daniel Tolson. See that picture there, right up, zoomed into his face. Make sure it's nice and clear, nice and bright. And now see the name Daniel Tolson under that picture. Good. Once again, look up into your left. I want you to bring back to your mind the picture of Daniel Tolson, the headshot. Make it nice and clear, make it bright. And once you've got that picture, I want you to see the name Daniel Tolson under the picture. Have you got that? Good. Once again, I want you to look up into your left. See the picture of Daniel Tolson's face. Zoom in, make sure you've got the headshot, make sure it's nice and clear. And now see the name Daniel Tolson under the photo. Once you've done that, what I want you to do now is to look across and to your left. As you're looking across and to your left to auditory remembered, I'd like you to say the name Daniel Tolson out loud. Looking across and to your left, say Daniel Tolson out loud. Excellent. One more time. Looking across and to your left, saying the name Daniel Tolson out loud. Good. One more time. Looking across and to your left, I want you to say the name Daniel Tolson and say it out loud. Wonderful. Now, the reason why we have visual remembered is so that the client remembers the picture of the other person's face. We also put their name under the picture, so when they access visual remember, they'll also see the person's name spelled out inside of their mind. Once we look across and to the left to auditory remembered, we're having the person remember the sound of this person's name, and we do that 3 times. By saying it out loud, it has twice the impact on the nervous system. They're saying it inside of their mind, and they're adding to that auditory remembered the sound of Daniel Tolson's name. Once you do that, you get them to look down and to the right once again and say to them, now, I want you to recall the picture of Daniel's face, seeing his name, Daniel Tolson, under that picture, and saying the name Daniel Tolson. Now looking down and to your right to get a sense of familiarity with that picture and that name. Does that feel familiar? And then what you'll get is you'll get an affirmative yes. Now, what you can do next is you say to the client, now I want you to look up and to your left, and I want you to see Daniel Tolson's face. And then I want you to see his name, Daniel Tolson. And now out loud, I want you to say the name Daniel Tolson. And this locks it in the visual remembered quadrant. It also locks it in there into the auditory remembered quadrant. And doing this, people can quickly remember faces and names, the sound of those names, and a feeling of familiarity when they recall that person's name with confidence. Now, if you're working with a normal organized person, remember, visual remember will be up and to their left. If you're working with a reversed organized person, then visual remembered will be up and to their right. You have just learned some of the most important ideas ever discovered on name retention strategies. And what you do next is most important. What we know is the average person knows 300 people by first name. Using a good memory retention strategy, you can increase that to remembering 5,000 people's faces along with their names. And through practice and repetition, science shows that you can remember up to 10,000 people's names and their faces. Your job now is to apply what you've learned and teach your clients this strategy, and then continue to apply this strategy until you get your desired results.